Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to ROP, Run of Play podcast, where we discuss everything football, especially the English Premiership. Welcome back, my panelists. We have Shewuti in the house. Shewuti, how you doing?
I'm good. Trying out a new setup today, so I'm glad to be here.
Well, I see you got a new mic today. That's true.
Yeah, new mic, new camera. You see the angle is different also.
Oh, that's true.
So no more
And the
my
other, the
usual.
other United fan today is put on his jersey, even though United didn't play.
I
Mr.
always
Jude,
put
how you
on,
doing, sir?
I always put on my jersey.
Mm.
I'm doing great. I should be asking you. You put on a Madrid jersey. Is it
No,
a
no.
thing?
I'll put on Madrid because Madrid played yesterday, Arsenal didn't play, so
No. Speaking of jerseys now, right? And of wearing the wrong jerseys, I think we should start with you, Johnny Boy. And just before we went live, right, we're talking about this moment in Arsenal season. And I want to take that and make it like larger and say like this moment in Arsenal's history. Because in the lead up to this season, Arsenal have been trying to convince themselves and the rest of the football world that they are really a big club again, that they're really back, right? That Arteta is really the one, and that this group of players, they're really here and they mean business. For some of us, that has seemed like a joke, but for the Arsenal fans, it's gone from a prayer to a kind of weird. How do we really feel about our manager Arteta? So now you come to the Champions League, right? In a season where it looks like there's no hope for you to win the Premier League. Following from the previous season where it seemed like the Premier League was all but your right hand destiny. So this is like a juncture where it does seem like Arsenal have to produce something. But you find yourselves against Madrid. Now that it's getting closer, how do you think about like this game relative to the season, right? Do you think Arteta and the Arsenal team have a chance to really redefine your season, or is the result of this game like does it not matter at all in the grander scheme of things?
So first of all, what I would say is that based on what I saw from the summer, this is all about top four. Because they knew going to the season the Champions League format had changed. It's going to be more harder now because now you have the upon like before where you meet the bigger boys, mostly in knockout cities, you're meeting them right from the cities. Like a team like Liverpool. Liverpool played Bayern Munich, Madrid, and I think they played one other big team in the group stage. It was in Napoli or somebody. They played them in the group stage. Before then, it wasn't like that. That would probably be a knockout tie. Teams like PSG and Man City actually struggled to qualify. That's how difficult it was. So if you knew all those, what you should have done is to tackle what you were supposed to do. Last season, like you said, we were supposed to win the Premiership title. I don't care what everybody says. We bottled the title. That's what Arsenal did because up until April, or I think it was end of March. No, April, because that's when we played Aston Villa. April, we're top of the league. The league was in the hands. Win your rest of the matches, and the league is yours. So definitely, the league was in your hands. Arsenal went to the pivotal time in the season. They played Bayern Munich and they played Aston Villa. Bayern Munich at home without any home fan. We fumbled the bag. We drew the game to win. That's when I knew that cracks are started to creep in because one thing about Arsenal, most Arsenal fans know that Arsenal doesn't do so well with pressure. When the heat is on, for some reason, Arsenal always crumbles. They always find a way to crumble. It doesn't matter the team they're playing. It could be Bayern Munich, it could be Southampton, like the previous season. Southampton, we play
No, but
Southampton.
like no, but like knowing that, right? How does that inform how you think about this current season and this challenge in front of you with Madrid? Are
That's,
you are
that's
you
what I'm
basically
getting.
saying that you expect them to bottle it?
So now so now is the reverse. Going to this game, just like you said, we're playing Madrid, right? Everybody, even the bookmakers, are probably going to pick Madrid over Arsenal. First of all, we have injury crisis and our attack is crap. We all know that, and it's Madrid. So now Arsenal is going to the game as the underdog, and I don't know right now. It's still 50-50 whether Saka, our best player, is going to play, right? But let's just say he plays. It's still Arsenal still going to be the underdog to play Madrid. So Arsenal is going to go into that game with less pressure because I'm sure 65% or 75% of Arsenal fans right now most fans have already locked up that this is like you're going trophyless this season. And that's where I am too. It's very few of them, the optimistic fans. I don't want to mention their name, but we know who I'm talking about.
So
Somebody
so so
one
basically
actually
it's a
even
win.
mentioned that
So
Arsenal
basically
was
it's a
going to win
win-win for
4-0.
you.
Somebody, if I even mentioned the guy even mentioned that Arsenal was going to win 4-0. I'm like 4-0 how? So Madrid is not going to score home or away. like for real, against this defense I'm seeing. But we all know those delusional fans.
No, but like for the question itself, right? So based on your expectations, it's kind of like a win-win for you because either
Is it,
way,
it,
either way you get to you get to have measured or balanced feelings. If Arsenal loses, you didn't expect them to win anyway, and if they
yeah.
win, then fantastic,
It's a,
great
but
that they won.
the issue that I'm going to have is that I was thinking about it. Even though Arsenal do qualify, right? The aim of qualifying is to actually win the tournament. So if I'm qualifying and I'm going out next round, it's still useless to Arsenal. To me, like it's still useless to me because I'm not winning it. So sometimes
No,
it's better. I know you can. I know cash. I know understand, but the money. Honestly, the money is useless to me.
To your board, money is
Because
important.
eh?
To your board, money is important. You need it to buy
But
players.
it's important. But they're not using to better the club. They're not using to better the club. So it's might as well not win the money because the money is there. We're not spending it on the right things we're supposed to be spending on. So it's
no,
as good
but
as it's better.
do you see a
It's
world
better when we don't
where
get the money.
do you see a world where you guys beat Madrid in this round and then go on to lose? If you beat Madrid, who else is there to stop you?
You don't write off PSG. Like the PSG I saw play Liverpool. No, I was impressed with them. I was impressed. Like Luis Enrique is a technically sound coach. If you watch, I think we all watched the game against Liverpool. You saw what he did to Liverpool. Like let's be on the balance of play. I know PSG actually qualified, which was the right thing, but both legs we can actually say that the right team qualified because
Yeah,
first
yeah.
leg, even for Alan said, the game should have been 6 because Liverpool literally were lucky, just had one chance and they scored and that was it. So basically, mass PSG this season, I think that was the best thing they did. They got rid of all the superstars in their team, right? So now it's almost as if everybody's on the same level playing field. There's no like these guys
Yeah.
are here and the rest are here. So everybody's playing on equal level. We have the good players, which is like Dembele and the other guy, Kvaratskhelia. And they have the talented guys like Due and Bakola. So everybody's playing for themselves. So I will write up even Aston Villa. Once Emery does so well, Emery is good in Europe. He knows how the underdogs.
Wait,
He's like
wait,
one of these.
wait. No, no, but like these are teams you give a better chance of winning than Arsenal. Is that like than an Arsenal who has
I will.
beaten Madrid?
I will. And this is why I always
Interesting.
boil it down to experience. Arteta doesn't have experience. Emery has experience in Europe. Enrique has experience in Europe. Not only that, he has also won the Champions League, so he knows what it takes to actually do that. So I have more faith in him, and I have more faith in him that when it comes to that game, he's not going to tweak and do something stupid. But I don't trust Arteta because Arteta can do something stupid. That day night he might take Saka to go and play left back or something. Like he does stuff like that. He does like his master. They can do something stupid out of the blue because they want to form genius and then it backfires. So at the
This
end of
this
the day,
sounds like
in,
this
in
sounds
as
like the
much as
trauma of an Arsenal fan.
in as
Right,
much in as much
that's
as I
speaking.
want, well, true, you can't blame me. We've been there. That's why I pity fans that always fall for the trap of when the board or people talk about like we've seen this script written over again. So what like they say seeing is believing. So until I see it, I can't believe it. I'm only going to judge them based on what I've seen past.
Let,
And
let
what I've
me
seen past is that
let me bring you
Arsenal do so well when they're underdogs, but when it comes to crunch time, they fuck up.
let me bring you Judy here. Basically, what Johnny Boy is saying is that Arsenal has a chance based on his underdog theory of beating Madrid. In fact,
Everybody has a chance.
they have a higher chance of beating Madrid than they do of any other team and than they do of winning the Champions League itself. So in his theory, they beat Madrid, then possibly lose to somebody else after. First off, do you think it's even possible? And secondly, like, do you feel? I think the way I feel that like if Arsenal beat Madrid, that's the season. Like, it's gone from there. Like, I don't see anybody like stopping them.
Stopping them
Looking at
for what?
Arsenal,
To win the this thing, Champions League or to win the league?
No, no.
no, the
In
league is
keeping
gone. Now,
with
what are you
the
talking about? Are you trying to be funny here? The
No,
league
no,
is
I'm
no,
gone.
just trying
in
to understand what he
yeah,
meant.
no. So in keeping with the theme of this general episode, right? That crunch time is the
Yeah.
focus right now.
Yeah, we
I
enter
think
crunch time.
you can start the clock from now and win like the crunch time. You
Yep.
can
Yeah.
successfully win this period and end the season with a trophy or on a high. And that's what like the focus has to be on. So yeah, that crunch time.
I'm very pessimistic that they are going to end with a trophy. Let me just keep it that way. But
Hang
underdog,
on,
yeah,
sorry,
maybe.
sorry. I'm sorry.
But
You said you want to end with a trophy? Is that what you said? Arsenal is
like
going to win a trophy.
pessimistic
Say
that
it's pessimistic, yeah.
Arsenal will end with a trophy. I
Okay.
I think for me, underdog, yeah, I think they'll probably go there as underdogs. But pressure, you say no pressure, but I think you're wrong. Your manager will probably be on pressure to win that game. Otherwise, his seat will be on
No
fire.
offense, but do you think, looking at Ateta, do you think Ateta has any pressure? Let's be honest with
He
you. Like even
has.
the
He
way he
might not show
sounds.
it to you. He has it. He has it. I'm telling you, he has it. It's the same way Mario started feeling pressure and started telling you the hand three. It's,
Yeah.
they don't come out to be panicking or something. Their body language, their statements will
But
tell you.
United is quite different from Arsenal.
But if
United
he
have
doesn't
shown.
win that,
No, no,
if he
no.
doesn't
Arteta
win
is under
Madrid,
pressure.
if he doesn't win Madrid, it's almost like he's not yet there. He's not gonna take
He's
Arsenal
not
to.
there. Even if he beats Madrid, he's not there. He has to win
If he
something
beats
major.
Madrid, it's a
No,
statement.
he needs
It's
to
going
beat
to
Madrid.
be like I'm there. Like I can go on for more trophies for competitive higher places in football with Arsenal. That's what he's saying. So all they need is the board will probably back him to get a striker next season. But if he doesn't beat Madrid, then you people are back to square one though.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't know. For some reason, I feel like Arsenal will win Madrid or edge over Madrid. I feel like it's a 2004 Champions League playing back. They will meet Barcelona in the final, and Barcelona will probably trash them. This is the beating of their life. That's what I think will happen. They will have hopes that
You mean 2006 final.
2006. Sorry, is it 2006 or 2005?
2006. Five was
That's the only
Liverpool.
time I supported
Five was
Arsenal to
Liverpool.
win a trophy, and they humbly disgraced me. So,
That was sad, man. Messi,
We're
what's that
robbed.
guy's
We're
name?
robbed. We're kind of robbed now. After
how
then they change. After that final they change the rule. Remember now they change the rule that there's no double. They call it, is it double jeopardy, whereby they don't. So in case of that stuff, like if you don't give the ref, if you're giving penalty, right, you
yeah.
don't give the guy red card. But
Yeah,
before
they
it
cheated Van
was
Persie also now in that game.
No, it's not that
so
one. It's Henry. Henry's days. It was
yeah, it
Henry,
was Henry. It was Henry.
Henry, and the
It
rest.
was Lehman. It was
Henry,
Lehman. They gave
Yeah,
red
Henry.
yeah,
card.
yeah,
I
yeah.
They
thought
gave
that
Lehman red card.
we're even saying that that game was probably a like Henry selling the game because he didn't really ball that game. He
Yeah, he
wanted
wanted
the
to go
next
No,
to
he
week.
actually
Banga.
did, but
Honestly,
he
he
missed
went to
chances.
Baka.
That's what happened.
He went to Baka. It was like a bad deal or something like that. But for me, I feel like the reason why I'm saying this is because Madrid is not gonna play low block. So it's going to be like almost the way they played Atletico. And Arsenal, if Arsenal can have confidence, they can probably go on to attack. Arsenal plays better against an attacking team. They score. They have those chances to score. Everybody plays free flowing football. That's what I feel. But,
But dude, let
but
me say something.
Madrid having
Madrid
those
this season.
guys that can do any wonders is what is
But
very.
if you watch Madrid games this season, trust me, there are games where Madrid have actually sat back and not gone forward. Like they literally sat back and played counter. The game, a typical example, the game they played against City first leg. I know they won 3-2, but they didn't attack. They were playing counter. They sat back and hit them on the break. So Madrid this season, if you from last season, they started before Madrid were all attack, but from last
So
season
the
they
thing is,
started this low block
they
and then
won't
hit
come
you.
and sit against you. You and I know that they won't come and sit against
Trust me.
Arsenal. They
They
know
might do
that
that at the Emirates. They might do that at Emirates with
they
shocking.
might
They
do
might
it
do that.
in
They
maybe
will
the
likely
second
do it,
leg.
yeah.
But first leg, they won't come out and sit against you. They'll come to play. You
I'm telling
understand?
you.
And
The
Emirates,
Madrid are
Emirates, they might be confused, just like the same way, like a Barcelona team in the far back, like not this current Barcelona team. Those Barcelona team with Messi coming out the Emirates, you see them like very confused passing the ball because Arsenal overpassed them. That those days of
Yeah,
which
but Jude, along those lines, that's why Madrid is likely to play on the back foot, right? Because Arsenal is going to come and dominate the ball,
That's
basically,
what I'm
like
saying.
as you're saying.
And I've seen Madrid this season. I've seen them. I've seen games whereby they sat back. It has
for
happened
me,
to them this season.
I feel Arsenal will probably edge over. I just have a feeling that they will edge over.
That's
But
But
my
interesting.
problem, my issue
then
with that problem is not edging Madrid. Like I said, it's not edging. Like there has to be an end goal. If you beat Madrid, there's no point. There, it makes no sense to not go out next round because
No,
all your
no,
hard work is.
no, but
but you're not going
All
out
your
with
hard
them
work.
now.
Johnny, wait,
Your
what do you
next
think
round
about
is
it?
Aston Villa or PSG. You're probably going to win them. The final is where you go out. And
Bro,
that's a better
you are
path.
narrating PSG though. Like you are narrating
Eh?
PSG. You are narrating
Arsenal will beat
PSG though.
PSG. Please leave Liverpool. Arsenal will
No,
beat
no,
PSG.
you're underrating the power of these games, right? Because if you think about the history of Arsenal, the history of United, they are these games that define basically a moment in the team's
If
legacy,
Arsenal should win
essentially.
Yeah,
Madrid,
but
it
the
changed
problem
the
is
whole
that Arsenal
season.
might beat Madrid, but I know Arsenal. Arsenal has that bozo gene. That's what I was trying to explain to you. They can beat Madrid, which is not beyond their limit, right? But when they play PSG, in fact, there's a higher possibility. I would prefer to play PSG than Aston Villa because Arsenal would lose to Aston Villa.
No, but what's the antidote to the bozo gene now? The antidote to the bozo gene is improvements, is experience, basically positive experience. It's being in the situation the next time and doing better.
Doing
Basically,
better.
that's how you get rid of the bozo gene. So Arsenal for the longest time had the bozo gene. Then Ateta came and slowly, you guys have been correcting the bozo gene. So
Nah, the bozo gene is still there.
it
That's
went
correct.
from every day you guys were a normal customer to Man City. You were a normal customer for
Winning.
City to winning effectively. Same thing
Winning
for
out
Liverpool,
of
same thing
that
for
form.
United.
Now you
Like
beat Aston
we've
Villa.
seen it in real
Just last
time.
this season, though.
No, this
Just
season
last
you're
one this season.
falling. This
Fire
season you're
beating
falling
Man U.
further behind. You're falling further behind an exceptional Liverpool, basically, that are having a freak experiment in the season. Because for all intents and purposes, it was meant to be your turn. Now, after how
That's
you
my
performed
point.
last season, it was meant to be your turn. But Liverpool came
They were
and
not serious.
just they just came and did a
They were not
well
serious.
run,
That's
right?
my point. They were not serious. Arsenal wasn't serious. That's why I
It
said they
wasn't
weren't
a team
serious.
it wasn't a team problem now. It was more of the board not buying the extra
No, no,
man.
no, no, no. See, that's why I always argue with fans. That's a lie. You
It's the
guys want
board
to
not
praise
buying
Arteta.
extra man.
You,
Because if
you
the
guys
board
want to.
bought extra man, you won't be
No, no, no,
relying
no,
on
no, no, no.
Saka.
Dude, I told you this. I gave an example. I said when you're giving pocket money, what do you do with your pocket money? You don't go and spend your pocket money on what you don't need. You spend your pocket money on what you need, what is necessary. At that point in time, your parents have no say in what you spend the pocket money because they're giving you the money. The money was given to you now to spend on what you need the money for.
Okay,
Because
no
if they wanted to get something for you, they wouldn't give you the money. They will actually get the stuff for you. So if the board wanted Arsenal to buy a striker, they would have gone, you sold
Johnny
Arteta and
Boy.
buy the striker and to work with the striker.
Let's Johnny Boy and Jude, as we investigate what happened with Arsenal, right? Let's use the opportunity to segue into their main competition, right? Because you can't really analyze Arsenal's situation without comparing them to who is doing better than them. On paper, Liverpool, right? Who is in their way of winning the league this season? Liverpool is blowing people out of the water in the Premier League. At the start of the Champions League, during like the table format, it looked like Liverpool were dominating the league, dominating Champions League, dominating all the cup competitions. But now it looks like the air has come out of the balloon, not just a little bit, significantly, because now they're out of the Champions League. Premier League, they've dropped
Carabao
some
Cup.
points. They're out of Carabao. They lost the Carabao Cup
Right.
as well. So, is there anything to the argument that maybe you should be calmer? And I want to use this to segue to Liverpool, right? But we can still talk about Arsenal within the context because somebody could say that Liverpool had a freak experiment in the league this year. The team is not as strong as we think they are, so therefore cut Arsenal or Arteta some slack. Pick either of those angles, Jude. How do you assess like Liverpool's season now? Now that we get to the crunch time of the season, do you think they can actually slip on the banana like that they've stepped on right now, or will they just lock up and focus on the league and win?
Sleeping on the banana is one thing, and who is going to pick up the banana is another thing. Because the people that are picking up the banana, they don't look like they're
They're
serious.
not focused.
They're not serious. They're falling off the cliff so before they can get the banana. If they were a serious team, Arsenal would have probably caught up. But because Liverpool have some funny fixtures, like in these last few days, I think they have
You still have
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
They have some other like those mid.
I think they still have Newcastle too
They have
in the
probably
league. I'm not sure.
Brighton, all
Pull
those
it up
all
now.
those mid table like I won't call them mid table again because mine is not down. So between third, between fourth to maybe eighth, they still have like some of those guys there. And considering where they are right now, they're in a stage where they are probably worn out, and but I feel like the break is probably gonna refresh them. The break they have is probably going to give them a refresh. So it all depends on what start that they have. If they start this game now and probably lose the game, it's going to start pinpointing a different direction towards the next
let's
game. And
let's drill down a bit, right? Because I don't know if it's confirmed now that Trent is going to Madrid, or if it's
They
still
say it's like probably 80%.
80%, 90% done, right? So let's drill down a bit. Trent is going to Madrid. We don't know what the future of Salah is. Van Dijk probably feels is looking around thinking, was
I
really
think Liverpool is going to keep one of them. Actually, two of them actually, because if Trent leaves, I think they will have to keep both of them.
they
Because
really have.
the rumors was that they couldn't afford to pay three of them because if you're keeping Trent, you have to give him equal salary to probably Salah or something close to Salah because
Because that's
I think he's
probably
the
what
vice captain
Madrid is
of
offering.
Liverpool. So he's seen as the future. So now him leaving kind of helps them out. So they don't need to spend that money. So they can give the money to Salah and Van Dijk. So that's the argument that I was reading that okay, since he's leaving, so those two guys will probably stay. And the rumors that Salah is actually told friends that he's staying. So
I
it's
don't
meant
he's
think
to
staying
be
at
Salah is
safe.
Liverpool.
planning to leave. I
Let's
really
go on
don't
to
think
I think
Salah is planning to leave. I just think it's probably the board trying to test, like play on with his loyalty because they know that
Who's
he
Salah?
doesn't want to leave. Yeah, he doesn't want to leave. So
Salah
let's.
is, Salah is asking for what is what now. Like
No,
that's all.
I'm
I
not
know he's
against
already
them.
like
Me, I
I
feel
know
they should.
he's already the highest earner, but he's asking like based on you saw what Haaland just got. So he might not
No,
be
but come
he's
come
not
on,
asking for what
guys,
Haaland
now.
got. He's not asking for what Haaland got, but like I mean, he's literally you can literally argue that he's like his second. In fact, this season you can argue
He's
say
the
that he's the
best
best
this
player in the
season
league.
now. He's the best player this season.
He's the best player
So
this season, no doubt, right? But Salah is also 32 years old.
that's what I'm
His
saying. So
core his
that's where
core
the issue is.
abilities relies on pace and sharpness,
And he still
basically, and
got it.
speed. And he still has it, right? But he's 32 years old. Any kind of contract that anybody's giving him now, right, would be likely for at least 3 years ish. If you're a club trying to do the math, basically, I think it's a harder question than people are willing to admit whether or not to commit to Salah, because the way to price Salah is not what he is now. It's to price him based on what you think he would be 2 years from now when he's squarely in the middle of basically his contract. So Liverpool has a hard question basically to answer for themselves, which is why I think part of the reason why they invested in who's this guy that they invested in Chiesa, what's his name, that hasn't played too much, and they're going to be in the market for somebody new. So like there's
The rumors that
these
they're
are
going for
probably I
Isak.
think Isak from Newcastle.
Yeah.
I don't see Liverpool buying him though. Boy, it will be a
No,
miracle.
but if I actually do because I'm hearing they're going to sell David Nunes and they're probably going to sell one. I don't when it comes to selling. I trust Liverpool because Liverpool knows just like Chelsea, they
What they
know how
can
to sell
sell
players.
is to
So
buy.
I'm
That
very
is the
sure
main
Liverpool.
problem.
You think if Liverpool goes to Isaac and tell you that they want it, you think he's not going to leave to Liverpool
When
after
last
they
did you
just won
see
the league? You
Liverpool
think he's
buy
not
a
going to
big
go?
player? When last did
Darwin
Liverpool buy
Nunes
a big
was
player?
big before. Darwin Nunes was big
Like
before he
big
flopped.
as being in the news for so long.
Nunes
Like
wasn't as
Isaac
big
and
as
That's what I'm
Isak.
David.
saying. Darwin Nunes was one of the hottest strikers before Liverpool bought him. That's why they bought him for that. They bought him for like 90 million. People forget. Darwin Nunes was heating up.
Nunes
That's one
was
reason why they
over
bought
Just
he
him.
was
like
overpaid now.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but at that time, he was worth it because he was tearing up the Portuguese league, just like the way Gyökeres is doing right now. That's why people are a little bit skeptical about Gyökeres because it's the same league Nunes came. Nunes was tearing it up. Remember, he played against Liverpool and he scored like 4 goals against Liverpool. So it was like an audition. So he was actually
No,
tearing it
but
up. But the problem is, when they sell, they'll probably sell it. They'll probably sell Nunes this summer and they'll use the money to get Isaac. Now, I don't think Isaac is
and
worth 150. I don't think nobody's.
And you think Newcastle will let him go like that? You think they
Yeah,
too
but
they
the
don't
issue
want
now,
to
I mean,
do
that it depends on them getting Champions League though. If they don't get Champions League, there's high chance they sell him.
the point
Because
the point
Isaac,
I'm
I
making
mean,
like
like,
with Liverpool's team dynamics, right, is that these are things I think that are affecting the team right now. Like the team is not balanced essentially. They've been relying on some extreme high performance, basically coming clutch in specific situations. I think Arsenal is more of a better run engine, essentially, altogether a more balanced team than Liverpool. Liverpool just have like what Jota, Nunes, what's this other guy's name, Diaz, and Salah have been able to do
Gakpo.
in terms of like and Gakpo in terms of goal outputs. that's unusual basically for a team to have. The closest thing I've seen to that is when United had Rooney, Tevez, Ronaldo, Nani, everybody scoring at least 13. Bebatov, everybody scoring at least 12, 13 goals in a season. That it adds up essentially at the end. So like being able to balance that with the aging, some of the people that are aging, is interesting. But now that you guys mentioned Newcastle, maybe we can talk about them for a few minutes because the Isak question is a big question. I think Isak is the best striker in the world right now. Like, say you're looking for a striker to buy.
You put him over Harry Kane?
Lewandowski.
No, I
Haaland.
put him over.
Or
I
do
put
you
him over.
mean do you
I
mean
put
on
him
the
over
league?
Lewandowski right now. I did put him over
I,
Lewandowski.
I put him over Lewandowski. I put him over Kane. Not
I
because
don't put him over Kane.
not because in his career he has achieved more than them or in his career has done more than them, but because if you're buying a striker right now, like Harry Kane only has I think pata 30 minutes left in him, right? So 1 year. I'm being facetious, but like 1 year left in him. Same thing goes for
Bro.
Lewandowski. As they are right now, and it's the same point about
You're talking
Salah.
okay, but you're judging them based on their ages,
Based
basically.
on
What you're
age,
saying.
that's what they're judging.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like based on age, like if you're looking to buy a striker right now, the most
Okay, then
valuable
that makes sense
prospect
now. Okay, I get your point.
on
I thought you were talking
the
about
most
like
valuable
12
prospect on
strikers.
the market is Isak. Like you're looking for a striker to buy. There's nobody being priced higher, I think, than
Yeah. I agree
than
with you that.
Isak.
I agree with you. I agree with you that if that's the case. So
And
Isaac is number one.
What about
Newcastle just
Martinez?
won. Who's that?
About who?
Lautaro.
Nah,
I think
I'll
that guy
put
has fallen off.
Isaac.
I would
Isaac
say
is
Isak
falling off,
followed
but we're
by
talking about age too. Isaac is 24, I
followed by
think.
Alvarez.
Alvarez is
In
also good.
Yeah,
in
Alvarez is
Atletico.
Alvarez.
crazy too. Yeah, Alvarez is sick too.
Alvarez.
Yeah.
And like the market is going to be very difficult, right? For strikers this season, I don't see Newcastle selling any of their superstars. In fact, I think I see them putting pressure on the market for everybody else. Basically, because they're going to be looking to
Yeah.
strengthen their squad. The only question I have with regards to Newcastle is whether or not you guys think Eddie Howe would be trusted to continue, what he has started so far.
So what I would say is that he has bought himself time basically with this trophy he won. He has bought himself time because I think it was their first trophy win since 1950 something. So it's been a long time Newcastle won the trophy. So that has bought him, in my estimation, I would say at least a year. So now whatever happens this season, I think they're already in Europe because they won the Carling competition, so they're already automatically
Yeah.
Europa League. Now they're chasing Champions League. I don't think they're going to. I put them in my prediction to make Champions League, and I still think they can make it because for some reason I don't know Man City. Let's see whether they've woken up because, like you said, we're in the final lap, so maybe they might get it right. Haaland got injured today, but let's see. But I still pick them to be my top four. But if let's just say they don't make it, right? I still think he has 1 more year, and like you said, I feel they're going to back him this summer. Now the issue becomes now if somebody comes in because we always feel everybody has a price. No matter what, everybody has a price because there are certain offers you bring to the table, and the club, and it's even if they don't accept it, they will inform the player that this money has been put down for you. So now
Put
it's
a
left
price
for
on
the club
Isak.
and the player.
Put
I
a
think
price
if
on
a club
Isak.
comes, so if a club comes to Newcastle, now, I think drop like 120 million. I think Newcastle is going to listen to that.
And you think
Sure.
Liverpool will drop 120 million?
Well, at the end of the day, you don't have to pay the 120 million at its short. You know that, right?
I know, but
They
I
can
don't
drop
think
like
they will want to do that business.
because people forget Liverpool didn't spend any money last summer. So technically, Liverpool has a lot of money to spend this
They
summer, and
actually
that's the
need
reason.
they actually need to rebuild too because if this guy is
One
going,
of Liverpool doesn't need to rebuild as much as Arsenal
they
does.
need a right
Liverpool
back.
just started
They need the
doing.
right
They need
back.
they need a right back. They need midfielders.
They need a left
Salah
back.
most
They need a
likely
left
will
back
get
because
injured
Robinson is
next
getting old.
season.
They
They
need a
need
left back.
somebody for Salah. They need a striker.
That's what exactly. So right now they're going to
So
sell. So the rumors are going to sell David Nunes and get Isak. But let's. So what I'm saying about Newcastle is that I feel somebody drops like 120 million right now. They might not accept it fully, but I think they're going to let Isak know that this amount has been dropped on the table for you. This club has dropped this for you. Now it's left for Isak and Newcastle to come to the table and decide do we accept that or not. That's what I feel.
I don't think
Because there's no
money.
way
I'm not
because
looking at
Newcastle
them
is
as
going
a
to be
club,
thinking.
Sha. I'm looking at them based on the owners. Those
Yeah.
Arab guys will not want to. You want to show wealth.
No, but at the same time, remember the league is not allowing them to spend the money they want to spend. The problem is not the owners. They want to spend money, but for some reason, the whole FFP and now there's what's the
I don't
new
think it's
what the
money
other
that
thing?
I don't think it's money that will move the needle for Isak because one, the
Isak
kind of people
himself
that
wanting
can
to go.
yeah, it has to be the layer of the club itself. So I
Yeah, I feel all
think
the big
if
clubs in the world can afford. Big clubs in the club world can afford Isak if they want to. Chelsea can afford Isak.
They
Man U can
can, but
afford
the
Isak.
problem is I don't think the club.
Arsenal can afford
I don't
Isak.
think the
what
club
what do you
wants
mean by
to.
Even
if
the
they want
Liverpool,
to?
even the Liverpool, you're writing down. They
I'm not
can afford
saying to
Isak.
afford. To afford is one thing, and to want to spend that money is another
That's
thing.
what
Yeah.
I'm. What I mean,
You understand?
what I mean, willing to
And
spend is
then
what I mean by afford.
we're also looking at the owners. They want to build. They'll probably be working with Isak, like trying to build that team around him.
That's what I'm saying. We are saying this.
So
That's why I said
they might
they
be
would accept
reluctant
it.
to
That's why I
sell.
said they would
The
accept
only
it.
thing that
That's why I said they would
want
accept
them
it.
to sell is, like you said, if they don't qualify for Champions League. The other factor that might be important is if Isak really wants to go.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said they don't accept the money, but they will definitely consider it in the sense that they will let Isak know, yo, 120 million is down for you. Because bro, people 120 million is not small money, bro.
But they
And
I
can
think
Newcastle can
sacrifice that
afford
money for the greater good.
of what?
If
What greater
Isak
good?
stays,
What
if
greater good are
Isak
you?
stays and they
What
keep
first?
going to
What
Champions
greater good is
League,
Newcastle going after? What
let me
greater good?
explain to
The
you.
league,
no
If they
that's
keep
that's
going to
what you're
the
if
saying
league.
now.
Isak
Yeah,
stays and they keep going to Champions League for the next 3 seasons, they will
it's
bring more
worth
than
more than
120 million in to the club.
yeah.
True, but at the same time, true. There's no guarantee. Remember they were Champions League last year.
They are just one. They are one game less, 3 points less from
Let me
entering
see how
top
many
four,
points they're behind.
No, and,
ICT
and,
went to
and,
this.
and also that's their plan
and
behind
winning
building a new
Carabao Cup is a
stadium,
momentum for
investing
them
so much
now.
money into the club, hiring a whole new management and C-suite team. Like their goal is
Which
to
are bad.
get
Like I said,
Newcastle to the Champions League consistently.
Premiership is not allowing Newcastle to spend the money they want to spend because they brought up these as stupid rules.
No, but
They brought up FFP
regardless,
and
right?
other one. There's a new rule they
Regardless,
brought
They'll
in.
find ways now. They'll find ways through sponsorship and get money in.
Yeah, but
regardless of all that,
what do you think Premiership is going to look at that? They're looking at that. Why do you think Man City has their case, right? So now they're probably going to be looking at that. So Newcastle now will be looking at, yo, somebody's bringing
no,
120
but
million.
no, but that has less to do with the issue, right? Because you created a scenario where you said basically all the big clubs in the world can afford to. That's okay in their bank account balance. They have more than 120 million in there. So technically, if they wanted to, they could afford to. No, that's not how to
Yes.
look at it. You have to look at precedents, right? How many actual hundred and something million players are there in the world? You can count on. You can count on two hands. They are increasing by
Okay, let me
the
ask you.
day.
Okay, finish.
What causes a player to be above 100 or something million is usually a combination of factors. One, it's a highly sought after player. Two, the club you're buying this for is reluctant to sell, so you have to press the button. You have that combination in Isak to the max because, as Jude said, the owners of this club are state-owned club. They don't need your money. The second thing is that Isak, in his position right this now, he's on an upward trajectory. So he's not going to somewhere where also
Exactly.
Newcastle could beat any of these other teams on their day. I think the only person that can convince Isak, as the way I see it like this, is either Madrid, Barca, Bayern, that kind of like, you are the crown
Liverpool
jewel
can
we're looking
convince him. What are
for.
you talking about? Liverpool can convince him. What are you talking about? Liverpool wins Champions League. Liverpool won Champions League. It was not 4 years ago.
I'm ruling Liverpool out because
Where
of
do you
how
see
much
where do you see
how much
Liverpool
it would
next season?
cost.
Eh?
Where do you see Liverpool next season?
If Liverpool does what people are thinking they're going to do this summer, Liverpool will be there about. They will still be in the title contention next season. They will still be because
They'll be in
I believe
title
Salah is
contention.
going to
They're not
stay.
going anywhere. But I'm saying, like,
No, but like you said, you have to be in contention to win it. So you ask me where I see them. I'm not going to sit here and say they're going to win it next season. The same way you're not going to say Liverpool is going to win next season. But we can actually say that Liverpool is going to
Liverpool are
contend
not
for the
paying. Liverpool are not paying 100 and something million for Isak. Like
now
they've not finished paying for
with
Darwin
what you're talking
Nunes.
about.
FSG, FSG.
My argument with Isaac is listen, I understand they're owned by a state,
If they
they're owned by
have
a
so
state,
much
but
money,
people forget that
they would have
Newcastle owners have
put
been
Van
wanting to
Dijk and
spend. The
Guy,
problem is not even
Liverpool
how
is
much
not
they
paying
want.
120 million for Isak. They're not. Like
Bro,
you're not describing
let's
the
not go
realistic
there because if
situation.
somebody told me Arsenal was going to spend 100 million on Declan Rice, I would have thrown it away. I would have said that's a lie. Arsenal will never do that. But they did that.
you spent it because the club was
No,
ready
there's
to
nothing like
accept.
because. Bro, that's
No,
the same thing. It is the
let
same
me
reason why
let,
Liverpool can do that. It is the
let,
same because you're saying it is the
no.
same because Liverpool can look and say, "Yo, we have
John,
to do that."
Johnny boy, you're not looking at the factor that the club is not ready to sell. West Ham is ready to
Yeah.
collect the money. Newcastle is
Alpha.
not ready to sell. That's the main.
West Ham was just
Okay.
exerting. West Ham was just exerting leverage in a
He was already
position.
Declan Rice already at that 70, 80 million peak.
Nah, nah,
That's
it's because it's
the
English. It's
board.
because it's
Let me
English.
explain to you
Let's
now.
not
and
He
go there.
and
bought
and
and
Declan
he's an
Rice was
English
bought.
player.
They begged him to stay
He's
for
an
one more
English
season,
player.
that kind of thing.
And they
They
knew
did.
that demand was coming. They had to put the price. You paid the money they collected.
That's what we are saying the same. That's what I'm saying. So
But
Arsenal that
Newcastle is
bought him,
not
right?
looking for
You're
your
not
money.
saying
They're
you're not
not
saying the
looking
same
for your
thing. You're
money.
not saying the same thing. There's
What
a
are you talking
key,
about?
very fundamental difference in that
What's the
West Ham
difference?
was willing to
Ownership.
sell. West Ham was willing to sell. They just
Because
exerted
they had a
leverage.
price. That's what I'm saying. But they had a
Hold
price.
on. Not because they had a price, because they knew that they were going to sell. They have been planning for selling Declan Rice for about 2 seasons before, because United had tried to buy him, City were interested in him, Arsenal ultimately paid. What West Ham did, they had a player, valuable assets they were willing to sell. They just extracted the maximum price that they
Let me
could.
explain to you what you're
That's
saying
Okay,
different
now.
from a
let's explain
situation
now.
where
Okay.
What you're
somebody
saying now
doesn't want to sell.
is almost similar to
So you have to about you think
Patrick,
Newcastle is not willing to sell
No, no,
Isak?
no,
Mbappe
hold
to
on.
Saga.
You
Hold
think
on, Rob. I'm
Liverpool?
saying that, like, fundamentally, it's different from a situation where Newcastle, I feel, is not willing to sell. They are not willing to sell. And it's kind of like Mbappe, as you're just saying, right? Where the president of France tried to even convince Mbappe. The only thing you can do for a player like Isak is the Madrid approach. Wait for
Convince
him,
the player.
Yeah, but you
wait for
can't
his
compare
contract to
Mbappe. This is why
expire.
you can't compare Mbappe to Isak. Mbappe and they are not the same level. First of
No,
all,
it's a perfect comparison because
Almost. It's
PSG
not
also
the
did not
same
need
thing
to
as mine.
sell. PSG also didn't need to sell, so there was no amount of money that
Mbappe
Madrid could put on
saw
the table.
Madrid as a
but
bigger club
guess what?
and a club where
The
you
owners
can
of the
achieve
club
more.
the owners of PSG right now regretted not selling him. You know that, right? Because now they are angry. They sued him. I know they sued Mbappe. They actually sued him because they actually regretted, which is their fault though, because they should have taken the money when they
Because they
had the
had a
chance.
bigger
It's not
project
that they
in mind
regret.
now. That's the thing. They had a
They
bigger
did
project
because
in mind.
guess what? You know why they regretted? Because the reason why they were hoping to keep Mbappe because they felt they were going to win Champions League. That's why. So, but then they ended up winning Champions League. So that's a big regret. So that's the same reason I'm telling
No,
that
but guy,
Newcastle
Mbappe is like
keeping
23, right? Like
keeping Isak.
Mbappe has at least 10 more years of like high level football to play, right? Like,
Exactly
so
the
of course
same thing with
PSG didn't
Isak.
want to
Isak
sell
coming
him.
has like 10 years
Yeah, so of course
because they
PSG didn't
wanted
want
to
to
win
sell him.
Champions League. That's why they wanted to win Champions League. That was their goal.
No, but
But then
you
they didn't win the Champions League.
what you need to take out of this is that, like, PSG, like Newcastle's owners, right? The owners of PSG did not need to sell. So the only way that somebody like Mbappe was able to be
Convince
sold
the
was for
player.
his
Yeah, but
contract to
also
expire.
okay, okay. Let me introduce another factor now. There's another factor that doesn't apply to PSG. PSG is not governed by FFP and they're not governed by. There's a new rule Premiership brought. What's the other one? So profit and sustainability. PSG is not governed by that. Premiership teams are covered by. Remember Newcastle paid a fine. I think it was last season. Remember they fined them for that shit last season. That's the reason why they deducted points from Everton. Last season they deducted points from Everton? Last season exactly. So stuff like that. That's the reason why I'm saying that. That's the reason why if somebody comes like 120 million, the owners might not want to sell,
Okay.
but because
So
of that factor,
no, no.
but
If
because of that
you were
factor,
Newcastle, if you were Newcastle's owners, right?
Do you
yes.
Which
think?
would be your
Do you think?
approach? Which would be your approach to solve this problem? Would you rather employ the army of lawyers and consultants that you have to figure out a way around the rules, like Chelsea have done with 9-year contracts, for example, right? So Chelsea, their own way around the rules is to say,
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay you a lump sum amount of money. I'll just keep you on a slave contract for 12 years. But if you add the money over the contract period, it's a lot of money. So what if they were able to, which would you rather do as Newcastle owner? Would you rather sell your crown jewel, Isak, or figure out a creative way to get around the rules,
But
the
now,
FF
see,
rules that you
but
have?
you know that the good thing about that is that now, because of what happened with Man City now, you think Premiership is not looking at that? They are. In fact, there's even they are right now. They're trying to limit the amount of money
Boy,
Premiership
they can
can
give.
look all they
Johnny
want
boy,
now, but
Johnny boy,
they can
let
be
me ask you a
looking. I'll
question.
But
be
they're gonna,
winning
Johnny
games.
boy,
you know they're
If
going
you
to
like,
set. That's
look.
what I'm
Johnny
saying. They're
boy,
going to set the rule, though. That's
Johnny
what I'm
boy, let
saying.
me
Because
ask you a
why did
question.
they bring? Why do you think they brought?
Johnny
You know,
boy,
one time about Premiership.
Johnny boy,
Premiership.
how
Somebody
much?
says something. Premiership is all about protecting the big boys, and it's true because why else are you bringing the profitability and sustainability? Why are you bring that?
Johnny
If a
boy,
new owner, if a rich owner like like you said, Newcastle is coming, the guy come because he wants to win. Allow him spend, allow him win. But the brothership because they're trying to limit his spending. That's the reason why. So basically, right now you cannot spend past a certain limit of your income or
Johnny boy,
something like
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. How
that.
much is
Okay.
Saka worth to you?
Realistically, I would say plus English tax, maybe 120 million. They price so they put him
The
on
same
transfer
as
market
Isak.
120,
like
right? So
one
if
thirty
Man City
million.
should bring,
So
if
one
Man
thirty
City should
million.
bring 130, would you sell?
If somebody brings 130 now,
Or 120, or his price that you have in mind, will you sell? I'm not saying
so
somebody, I'm saying Man City.
if I'm in
I'm
coach of
using
Arsenal, I will sell Saka. And I'll tell you why. Listen, I'll tell you why I will sell Saka. Listen now,
I
listen,
hear you. You have to think
listen now.
about it. But no
Johnny boy,
problem.
okay.
I think about it.
I will sell Saka because first of all, two things. I'll look at it like you said in the next 2 3 years, right? Is Saka going to be worth more than 120 million, or his value is going to depreciate? The answer now we cannot answer, right?
What to who?
Same,
To who?
What to who?
What to who?
His contribution to your club, would it be worth 120 million?
that's
That's what
Saka
you
money.
should
So
be
now,
looking.
so now,
What is
what that
value?
comes now is trust. Now, do I trust the club, the people running the club, to go out and get me a favorable replacement for that? That's it's just the same thing. Liverpool did that shit with Coutinho,
No,
and it
no,
worked
no.
perfect for them.
Answer your own question, right? So
Now
the way you
what?
see Saka, like this now, you
I'm
sell
not
Saka
saying
120,
anything.
you sell Saka 120 million. Who do you go and buy that's better than him?
So,
The person might not be better than him.
so listen
He
to
might
me,
not be
Johnny
better
boy.
than him.
Johnny boy, the
When
point I'm
Liverpool,
trying
when
to
Liverpool
make,
sold
Johnny
Coutinho,
boy,
they bought who did they buy? They bought
Johnny
Alisson
boy,
and Van Dijk,
the point I'm
right?
trying
But
to
they
make,
lost.
right? The point I'm trying to make is you're almost the same level with Man City right now. You're almost the same level.
I'll say it's debatable.
That's what I'm telling you. You're almost
Almost
the
the
same
same
level
level,
compared to
almost
mentality.
captures the debate.
Your problem is just mentality. So I'm not telling you continue. Continue went to Baka. The player wanted to go. Baka is a
No,
bigger
no, no. It's
club.
not if you wanted
If
to go.
Madrid comes for Isak
The money
now,
was. We don't count that as a
If
bet. We
Madrid
don't count
comes
that
for
as
Isak
120
now,
million. We
Isak
don't
will
do
want
that.
to go. Do you understand? So there's also that Arsenal selling to Man City.
Add a premium for
Your
that.
price,
Fantastic
your
one, Jude.
greatest player, you're selling to Man
Which
City.
is why I always go back to myself. I said,
So
if somebody brings that money, Newcastle might not want to sell him. But what I'm saying is they're going to call Isak and they're going to sit down together with Isak
No, no,
and
no,
let him know
no,
that,
no,
yo,
no,
this
no, no,
amount.
no, no. You've not answered some very important questions, right? Because
Which is what?
you're suggesting that you're willing to sell in the Saka example that you brought up. You're willing to sell Saka for the promise of somebody who presently is
oh,
not as
make
good as
120
Saka.
million value.
Is not as good as Saka,
But
but
the thing about it, at the end of the day,
hey
right?
God,
3 years time, the person will be
The
valued at
argument is all
120.
this thing about if you're keeping somebody, if you're keeping your best player, right? What are you keeping him for? Are you keeping because of the money he's bringing into the team, or you're keeping because you want to win trophies? Because to me, Arsenal doesn't look like a team that win trophies. They're not showing me yet they want to win trophies.
But if you lose Saka,
They
you
look
will
like
even
they
show
look like a
more.
team.
no,
They
no,
look like a
but like,
team.
Losing
don't look at
Saka
it through the
will show
lens
more.
of don't look at it through the lens of a jaded Arsenal fan, right? Who is
No,
for
but it's
reasons.
not being dated, Chew Thomas.
No,
No, no,
I'm
I'm
looking
saying
at
don't look at it from that. Don't look at it from that POV. Look at it from the perspective of somebody who sees a future with
Johnny
Arsenal,
boy,
right? Or
Johnny
who's
boy,
trying to produce something positive.
Johnny boy. So
if I'm the one,
to
if
win
I'm not
trophy
running
now,
Arsenal,
to
okay.
win
If
trophy
I'm the one
now,
running
Wait,
Arsenal, I
wait,
will
wait, Johnny
sell
boy.
Saka.
Let Judah
Johnny
the
boy,
additional context.
to
Hold
win
on.
trophy with
Yes.
your Arsenal construct, your team construct now, what do you need to add
Oh, trust me, we need a lot right now.
to win trophy? You need a lot
Yeah,
with your team construct. So
right
imagine
now.
selling Saka. What do you think you need? You will not need more than a lot.
Funny enough, if you sell Saka, it's not going to change. We still, funny thing, we still need somebody to actually replace Saka in Arsenal. You know that, right?
Wait. Do you mean replace your support?
Okay, support. Okay, let's say support. Basically, okay, support. But me, you know why I call it replace? Because I feel that, and that's the problem most teams make. That's why I like teams like Man City. Man City doesn't say support. Man City buys a player that can actually replace them. That's why
No,
Man City has.
But
it's
those
it's
players
support.
end up not
It's
It's not.
replacing.
support.
Most of them
No,
end
no,
up not
it's not.
replacing.
It's not. You know why I say it's not support? Because guess if you don't play well, that guy goes takes your place straight up, and you go to the bench.
Please, who was Mahrez replacement?
Exactly. So you are coming to my second point. That's why Man City is struggling right now because Man City went away from what.
No, but your points
Other
contradict
players
themselves
that have
now.
No,
replacement
no.
now.
Man City went away from what was making them successful, which is
No, so
having.
is your argument that like that you should have both on the pitch and on the bench
So
players of the same quality?
is that he mentioned about Arsenal's control. So I was saying that me personally, if I'm running Arsenal, I wouldn't sell Saka because I want to win. But I'm looking at it from the lens of the club itself, where Arsenal is run presently.
So why would they sell Saka?
That's what I'm telling you. So that's because
So,
what I keep is asking the question. What are you keeping
And
Saka
I
for?
actually don't think they will sell Saka because of the fans. That's the only reason why I don't
Right.
see
So
them
so
selling
now
him.
exactly. So they
They
will not
can,
sell Saka. Not
your board, I
not
don't trust
because
them. They will take the
that's why I will
money.
not sell Saka. Not
So
because
that's
no,
the
no, but
difference.
like, but
That's the
if we
difference
bring it
between
back
your board
to
and Newcastle. That's the
if
difference between your board. Newcastle is not ready to, will not be ready to sell. They don't
no,
want
no,
to
no,
sell.
no, 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 but no, but it's not different. It's actually a similarity, right? So if we bring it back to the Isak and Newcastle question, all these additional context that you're giving, the fans, all that kind of stuff, they all apply in the same way to Isak, who is a hero to Newcastle, to the club, to the fans,
And you
who
just want to
is
sell him immediately.
But you know what's so funny? What's so funny? That some Newcastle fans are like they're happy with Isak, but like if a huge offer comes for Isak, they're okay to let him go.
It's because
no,
they
I mean,
have
let's be honest.
they've not
Newcastle
looked
have seen Chera has come and gone. I mean, who is Isak?
no. The only
at
context in which
topic.
Isak can be sold is if one, he wants to
He
leave,
wants to leave.
and if two, his leaving does not strengthen an immediate rival. So there's no way in hell that they are giving Isak to Liverpool. It's like if you play Monopoly now, you have one of either Mayfair, the blue or the
I
green,
know what
and you
mean.
go and
At the
sell
same
it.
time, okay, I give you a typical example now. Remember, what's his name? Harry Kane was supposed to go to Man City, right? The reason why they didn't sell him to Man City is not because they couldn't sell him to Man City. It's because they had a price for him, and Man City were not willing to go to that price. That's why. That's the reason why. So meaning that if
No,
Tottenham
no,
had,
but think about it a little deeply, right? If you don't want to sell something to somebody, there's a way you will set the price
Right.
no, no, no,
that
no,
will
no, no, no,
communicate
You
that
know that you own it.
you understand. You know that they can't meet the price, so you set a price that effectively
Ah,
prevents the
Arsenal
sale.
coming for
no,
Arsenal
but
coming
at
for
the same
Suarez.
time, right, the club has to be willing to also go there because at the end of the day, right?
Don't you remember Arsene Wenger's famous 90-50+1 or
50 plus
something?
one.
I
Yeah, I
forget
do,
who
I
was
do,
it.
I do, I do. Just like Declan Rice now. The reason why Arsenal bought Declan Rice is not. It's not. Me, I don't feel Declan Rice is worth 105. I don't think that. But Arsenal had to buy that because they
They,
wanted Declan Rice. That's the reason
they
why I say
priced
that.
you
If
now, and
Newcastle,
you
if
fell for
Liverpool,
it.
that's the reason why I say that if Liverpool wants to buy Isaac, they will actually buy him. Because you can't
No,
tell me
I mean
Because
to
I'm sure every big club now would have talked to his agent and say, "Yo,
this
what
your
happened?
this your this your framework is to wrap up, right, to wrap up this segment of the conversation, like Johnny Boy, your framework is non-falsifiable because effectively if you say if they want to they can, I mean sure,
Everybody
right,
can.
No.
yeah,
But I'm
there's
saying
there's
at
no
the
way
same time,
to
at the same time too, you cannot say they cannot because the same thing.
no
Arsenal,
no
if
no
somebody had told me 3 years ago, Arsenal will spend
saying
a
not being
hundred
able to
million on a
say
player. I
not
won't
being
believe
able to say they cannot is still part of your framework that is unfalsifiable. What we've done so far in this segment of the conversation is discuss the likelihood of one or the other, right? So neither of us
it. Yeah.
can definitively say they can, they can't. But we can have a reasonable conversation about, okay, based on everything we know of reality, what is more likely than the other to happen, right?
But reality changes. That's what I'm saying. Reality changes. That's what I'm saying. Changes,
Sure,
bro.
no, yeah,
Just change.
definitely,
Exactly.
definitely.
So,
And you know, it's part of what will be top of
for instance,
everybody's mind.
the same Arsenal, they're linking Arsenal to Isaac right now,
They
and
always
Isaac
bring
is
It's
people
the
to
same
think
price.
we won't buy.
And the funny
it's
thing that I'm not against, like, I'm not saying Arsenal can buy because I've seen Arsenal do it. So now I can confidently say Arsenal can actually spend 140 million on Isaac. I can say that
You
because
won't
they've
I
buy
done it
him.
know
before. But
You
if I
won't
told me
buy
that
him.
5 years ago, I'll say you're
If
mad.
they are linking you for too long, you don't buy that player. Just
it's
they,
So me, I
it
know
is
that
what
Arsenal
it
is not going to buy
is.
Isaac. Yeah, I know Arsenal is not going to buy Isaac. I know
It
that.
is what it is, and transfer rumors will be part of this crunch time. The
Yeah.
discourse around crunch time, you know, this part of the season because people are trying to settle and see where they would go. But you know, the season resumes April 1st. Maybe
On
with
Tuesday.
April Fool's Day. You know, we don't know who will be a fool on that day or not. But there are some interesting
that's what
fixtures. Some interesting fixtures that we should just predict quickly as we wrap up like the episode. Starting with Arsenal Fulham, as Jude said. Arsenal at home. You know, against Fulham.
Fulham gives Arsenal a tough time. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
Fulham is
but I
Arsenal.
expect it to be a piece of cake. You know, and if I were to predict, I would predict Arsenal to win. 2-0.
1-0 Arsenal. No, actually, Fulham will score Arsenal, man. Fuck. 2-1
2-1.
Arsenal.
2-1 is Emirates.
Even
Arsenal
the two
causing
one is. I'm just
deliberate.
talking. I'm just talking from my heart, to not my head. My head is telling me 1-1, but my heart is
Arsenal
telling
will
me 2-1.
concede
So
deliberate.
I'll follow my heart.
Yeah, I think Arsenal are going to win. Okay. Wolves West Ham.
1-1,
2-2,
1-1.
1-1.
I'll go 1-1 as well. Okay. This should be an interesting one. Forest versus Man United. Dogu's back. Mason Mount is back. It looks like Maguire is back.
Yes.
Bruno is
Yes.
scoring again. Højlund is scoring again. Zexi has found some form. You know, Jude, any surprises for us today?
Forest United. It's international break. I think I want to give 1-0 to Forest or 2-1 to Forest. But that man in me wants to.
Okay.
I'll just go with
Johnny
2-2
Boy.
because I think those guys would have forgotten what they were playing before before they went on holiday.
Forest 1-0.
I played 2-2.
Nottingham Forest 1-0.
I don't know.
Wait, is
I'll be
Chris Wood
hopeful.
playing? Let me see, because he
I
didn't.
think
He
United
came back
would.
injured because Chris Wood is vital.
If anybody they like, they can play. I think United is going to win 2-1.
Man, they should start just win the Europa
Okay.
match. Anything they are playing in the league is their own bad.
Your own business. No, I think in crunch time mini league. Amorim needs to win the league starting from now. Like whatever the number of games are between now and the end of the season, he needs to come out with more points than less.
I'm not of that opinion.
Okay.
Please. I feel they should prioritize. We are better off
No.
being above 10, like being in the top 10 at this point, and just winning that Europa. That's where we need to sneak in.
Okay, we didn't talk about United this episode at all, so maybe 2 minutes on it. I don't see how I don't see how we can lose games in the league and get up the spirit required to turn up in Europa League. I think the only teams that are able to do that, they are already performing at a high level, right? So what you have is they rest a few key players during the league, because we've done it before with Mourinho, essentially. But like the way this season is going, I think Amorim is still trying to prove that his formation works. So first and foremost, before you start saying, "Oh, let me play young boys," first and foremost, let's first understand this 3-4-5, 3-4-3, 5-4-2, whatever it is formation that Dogu is playing here. Let's first understand it first, right? And we need to come out at the end of this season with understanding of the system and using it to win. So there's no choice. I forgive you. Wherever we end up is fine. Start from now, from this Forest game, and win the mini crunch time league. Will be my own 2 cents on United. Okay, Bournemouth versus Ipswich.
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth
2-0. 2-0 Bournemouth.
3-1.
Even
Yeah,
though Bournemouth is beginning,
2-1.
it seems they are
Bournemouth.
beginning to enter a little
As
bit
well.
of slump. They've been messing up recently.
Yeah, I'm a little sad for Ipswich. I wish I
Yeah, but
had high
you
hopes
can have
for
you can have high
them.
hope, but at
I
the
thought
end
they
of the
were
day, your
gonna come
squad, your
and
team matters. You're coming to Premiership. You're not coming here to joke. It's not championship.
yeah, it does.
They should go back and
It's a
regroup
great
and
right
come
back.
back again.
The problem is that they'll probably lose like 2, 3 key players.
It's
That's the
not.
problem. So
It's
they have to rebuild again because somebody like the lap is somebody
yeah,
that
yeah.
a Premiership team can do with. So even Hutchinson has proven himself that
Okay.
he's a good player. So players like that, they probably lose them.
Okay. I think the next one is probably an exciting one. Brighton versus Aston Villa. Brighton have
I
fallen
love
off a
Champions
little.
League players.
This is their rock and roll young coach. And then Villa is playing the Champions League. Asensio and Rashford are forming partnership. They seem to have like a good handle on their squad. I'll go with Villa to win. Villa 2-1.
I'll go with a draw, 2-2.
Brighton is home. Oh, damn. That's a tough one. Because Brighton, for some reason, at home, they're good. So, I've definitely voted them will score. You know what? I'm going to go with my heart. Aston Villa 2-1. Even though I know it's going to end the draw, but I'll go Aston Villa 2-1.
There's Champions League the following week,
Yeah.
Abi.
Doesn't matter. But there's league there's league that weekend for Champions League now. You guys are looking too far. There's a league game after that Tuesday. There's a league game that weekend as well. So literally, there are two games before Champions League.
Are you sure?
Crunch time. Crunch time.
Yes, there's a league game that weekend. This coming weekend, there's a league game too.
Oh, okay, there's a league game, yeah.
Uh the games come thick and fast now. That's what they say, thick and fast.
Another
Now,
yeah. Another Sofia customer this season, Leicester. I feel bad for Rude. Honestly, I wish he had gone to like West Ham
I think he was
or
too eager.
Everton
He was too
or
eager for a
a
job.
more stable club because
Yeah.
he was too eager. I agree. I think it was too
And the
eager.
hype,
The
you know,
Amorim
like was it 3
situation,
games
but
he
they
took
are
and won
away
3
at
of them, right? I believe the type. I believe the
Yeah, it
type.
was 3 games. I think he won 2,
Yeah.
drew 1. Lots of hype, lots of swag. But he's going away to Man City. A city that maybe
And who
Mamouche is
knows? Maybe
shining,
Haaland,
spark here,
because Haaland got
Savinho, they
injured.
throw leg. Haaland can Haaland again. I think City are going to win comfortably. I would say
Four or
like 3
five.
3 City.
Actually,
I think I give
3-0.
City 5-0.
Leave Martin to keep it respectable. 3-0.
I think City 5-0. The
They'll
reason,
keep it respectable.
the
But
reason I
I
don't
think when they
think
score,
I
they'll
don't think
prepare
they
for the
will.
weekend. They'll just prepare for the weekend because I think they're
Because
playing Forest.
people like Mamouche will probably want to rush 3 goals in the first half. And that's
Mm.
Leicester
Actually, they're playing United
Mamouche.
though. They're playing. You guys are playing. It's Manchester derby. You see, it's a Manchester
So
derby this weekend.
they need to close the game. So they'll
Yeah,
win the
3-0.
game like
I go
3-0
with
first
3-0.
half.
3-0
So
now.
first half 3-0, then they'll bring those McCarthy and the rest to complete the game.
Okay.
What's your scoreline?
The
What do you
most
predict?
recent
2-0
trophy winners, Newcastle.
then Johnny Boy 3
3
next.
0 me 3 0.
3-0 soon. Wait, oh.
Yeah.
Let me in the middle 4. Let
The
me in
most
the middle 4-0.
recent.
4-0. Let me in the middle 4-0.
Oh, wow. The next game features the most recent trophy winners in the country. Newcastle are home to Brentford. I think we should expect, all the Shayo and cigar
It's
smoke
over 2 weeks.
and celebrations that Newcastle not die down. They should still be recovering. I think so. I expect some shaky performances.
I'll give
And I'll
them
go with a
3-1.
1-1
Newcastle
draw.
2-1,
Actually,
2-1,
between
2-1 Newcastle.
Newcastle Brentford.
I think the reverse. It will actually boost them to actually win the
It will
game.
boost
And
them
they're
because
chasing
they need
Champions.
to
I
they
know
need to
that.
get into the
Now
top
the
four.
goal, I think the goal for Newcastle now is Champions League because they've gotten one title, which is the cup. Next goal is Champions League, and I tip them to make Champions League. So I think they will win 2-1.
Yeah. Okay. Southampton, Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace
Palace
just
2-0.
blew Fulham away.
Palace 4-0.
Yeah, for
Southampton.
I didn't know what I saw it start yesterday. It was yesterday played, Abby? Yeah. Look, Crystal Palace hasn't lost away from home this year. That's mad. The last team to beat them away from home was Arsenal, and that
Wow.
was in December. And that was Carling Cup.
Okay. 2-1. I'll say
said
2-1. 2-1
3-0.
Crystal Palace. Yeah.
Crystal Palace.
2-0 Palace. 2-0 Palace.
Okay. Last but not least, the Merseyside derby. What's his face? David Moyes returns to Everton, and he leads Everton, away to Liverpool. A Liverpool, as we just discussed, that might be shaky just now. I think if there's anybody that can have their medicine, is David Moyes. And I think we're in for it. Yeah, no, I think we're in for a difficult game, but I would put Liverpool to edge it. I have Liverpool edging it slightly, so I'll say
2-0
2-1.
Newcastle. 2-0 Liverpool.
Same here.
2-0. Like you said, it's crunch time. I trust Liverpool. Liverpool is on
Okay.
crunch time and they will mess up. 2-0. 2-0.
Yeah. No. So okay. Let us know. We've done like a nice hour. Let us know in the comment
Send us
section.
your
Like,
predictions
subscribe,
too.
share. Let us know how you think your team is gonna perform.
Do you see,
Predictions, how your team is gonna
do you see
perform in
Arsenal
this crunch
doing
time
the
of the
unthinkable and
season.
knocking Madrid out? Or you think Madrid is going to knock out Arsenal? Let us know. Thank you, guys.
Stranger things have happened. All right, guys. Peace.